So again, I'm Tanya with the City of Bellevue. My co-presenters today are Scott McQuary from the City of Redmond, Ryean-Marie Tuomisto from the City of Kirkland, and Andy Quast from Ecology. Sorry. And we're here to share our experience and tips with you on spill response training. So kind of how this evolved was last spring, the three city jurisdictions got together and thought, hey, let's do field response training geared towards our field staff, our first responders, the staff that's going out in the field and using different spill responses, the Vector trucks, the sweepers, and let's get them some hands-on training, and it would be fun to do it together. And so I'm going to show a little clip here from our training. It was October of 2022, just to give you a flavor of kind of what we did. All right, that's thanks to Aaron Husband from City of Kirkland Outreach. Husband from City of Kirkland Outreach and Education. So he put that little video together of our training. We've done a couple sessions, split the groups up into two, had a morning and an afternoon, and he took some video clips of that. All right, so our structure today is we're going to spend about 30 minutes indoors here, kind of going over, you know, why would you have this kind of training, the benefits of hosting the training, and kind of the organization of the training. We're not actually doing field training for you folks today, but it's more of a matter of if you wanted to coordinate your own training in your own jurisdictions, these are some of the tips and kind of our, you know, great things that came out of it. And so we're going to kind of share that with you. And this is meant to really be kind of interactive. So if you guys have questions, you know, ask us. And we're going to then after about 30 minutes, we're going to take about 10 minutes, make our way out to the back parking lot here where we've got some demos set up, where you can see different spill equipment, look at how different spill response trucks are set up, maybe get some ideas if you're trying to outfit some for your own jurisdiction, and then an opportunity to network right with this beginning of the conference. And the whole idea really for this training was to network, have our staff get connected with the neighboring jurisdictions and get to know people. You know, in the end, we had you know, a couple of my staff at Bellevue met some street staff in Kirkland and went over and like figured out how their trucks were set up, and we've adopted some of those new different ways of setting things up. So it's been a great learning experience. What a great diversity here, everywhere from the rural to the urban to, you know, one person wearing multiple hats to having to coordinate with lots of different jurisdictions. I think that's what makes this training really very valuable. Okay, so jumping into it, you know, if you're trying to figure out funding or logistics on doing this kind of training for your jurisdiction, there's three main reasons that I pulled out of to take to leadership of like why we would dedicate a day and all the training that goes, you know, the prepping for the training that goes into training field staff. So the three main reasons I came up with were because we have permit requirements, and it helps protect natural resources when you can get someone out there to respond right away and prevent the pollution from migrating, and then to train and empower staff. So why we would organize training is because we've got, or why we would do the training is because we have federal permit requirements. We also have the NPDES permit requirements. Straight out of that is sections. Now, this is from the Western Washington Phase 2. Everybody's got a little bit different permit if you're on East or West or Phase 1 or Phase 2, but the language is pretty similar. The key being that permittee shall train the staff who are responsible for identification, investigation, termination, cleanup, reporting, you know, all of those things. So at me for Bellevue, I train our staffs for not just fields like identification to call it in, but also how to respond to a spill. So it's required under the permit, and then protecting our natural resources, right? If we can get some staff out there who sees a spill and can respond to the spill and keep it from migrating. Western Washington, we get a lot of rain, but perhaps it's not raining right now, but you see a spill and the responders know, hey, I just need to get a boom, or I need to do something really quick. Like maybe they can get it from migrating, and we don't end up with beach closures and other things. Our natural resources are beautiful, so anything we can do to kind of protect that's important. Another key thing that come out of it is that we really train and empower the staff. You know, these are our resources. These are spill kits. These are booms. This is how you use it. This is how you could use it when you are on hard surfaces. This is how you'd use this equipment if it was in a waterway, and maybe you're limited on time. So maybe instead of trying to clean it up, you boom off at an outfall or something like that, particularly for the jurisdictions that are small. And you're wearing 5 different hats and you've got to go someplace. Maybe you can boom it off at an outfall or something like that. So staff have been really excited about, like, yeah, I know who to call. If I need backup, this is who I call. These are my regional partners, and all of that. So it's been, the feedback has been great. And then the coordination piece is really, the feedback on that was great. Like, they know that when they call this number, we have a spill response number. We call this number, this is who's going to show up, and someone's going to answer the phone, and this is how I can ask for the right kind of equipment that I need. So they feel confidence, and they can ask for the right kind of help when they need it. And then they can take action. And, we did a piece on PPE as well. So, that they're not stepping into something that's, over their head. So I'm going to turn it over to Andy at this point, and he can talk about the regional coordination piece.
Yeah, so over the years, I've worked with all 3 of them, on spill responses and other reports and stuff. And they asked me to come and help out with that training last year. And really what it came down to for me and passing on with crews was that ecology spill response, which is different than the water quality department. With the permit stuff, we are there for 24/7 as fast as we can get their response when a spill occurs. And a great idea to have happen before a spill happens is to work with your, within your own team, perhaps your local neighboring jurisdictions, and somebody from Ecology spills. The sheet up here on the table, I don't think I have enough for everyone, but it's available as well. It's a focus sheet on how we can help jurisdictions, really anybody with stuff we do, but we can help train. We have a lot of resources, but we're pretty spread out, and we do depend on local jurisdictions to, hopefully be the first people there. And if they're well trained, they know what they're looking at, how to describe it to us, and can ask for help if needed. And we will respond to anything, anytime. We have people on call throughout the state, 24/7. And they would be more than happy to help. And then before that happens, you know, you can ask me if I can try to get you in touch with somebody. But the numbers are on here, and we're all trained and want to help and help, you know, set up everyone out in the field for success and feeling safe and knowing that they have us in spill response specifically to help solve the problem. You know, as best we can when it happens, and then we can move on from there. And it's always easier when you've already met somebody and it's not in the middle of the night, horrible weather, dark, and everybody's stressed out and you don't know what people's capabilities are, what their trainings are, how familiar they are with the area and stuff. So that's always good to do beforehand.
Thanks, Andy. So Andy and Tanya both said a lot of really key words, which we want you to take away from this training, is that this bill's gonna happen at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's gonna happen in the middle of a rainstorm, and it's gonna happen in a situation that you're not used to. And you might not have all the amazing tools or that you see on the films, but the most important thing that you can have is, who can I call to help me? And that's the whole goal of this. Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond, we're all in Lake Washington, we're all neighbors. And I am successful in my job, mainly number one, because of my staff. And number two is because I have these guys to go to. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. It's all about cross training. So we will meet each other frequently enough and be like, hey, I had this situation, I had this mobile business felt this. Did you guys ever experience that? What did you do? And vice versa. So the whole goal of this is to train and cross train. Your jurisdiction does not have to come up with all the solutions. Cross training is so vital, and I can't encourage it enough. The coolest thing about the introduction too, I wanted to point this, we're all, as you guys are introducing, we're like, well, you have maintenance chief staff in here, you have inspectors in here, you have IDB, you have PPA, which is source control. You have Ecology, you have Navy, you have managers, you have such a variety of people in here. We cannot encourage it enough for upper management to support the staff. Give them that training so they can feel confident when they go out in the field. We can't stress it enough, train before these situations happen. So when PD, police show up and fire show up, you might not know everybody's name, but you're like, okay, I know police is going, can I get traffic support? Fire's going to get out there, public safety. Maybe hazmat unit